For the last few months, I've actually been using a motion capture suit in VRChat. It's every bit as good as you can imagine. There's no drift, there's no issues. It's essentially perfect. Honestly, it's great. I've been using it for like the last 4 months now. I've been using it. This motion capture suit has been used in big budget movies such as Avatar 2, Way of the Water. You've also might have seen it on Twitch with Code Miko stream. That's the same suit that she uses. That suit is $15,000. Now, is it worth $15,000? I would say if the application is right, yes, it's worth it. But if you're just gonna be using it for VRChat and hanging out with your friends, just view this video as a peek into the future of what could be out there, because we all know that eventually technology will trickle down. So if you're looking for a good full body VR fix right now, recommendation still stands with a good old Vive Tracker or Tundra Tracker. Motion capture suits in VRChat is basically the dream that most people think of. The first thing that you imagine is that suit that you get in Ready Player One. It's awesome. But the problem is that most of the motion capture suits that exist out there aren't great. Specifically in regards to talking about VR and VRChat, when I'm talking about these other solutions that have some drift problems, a lot of this has come from not only my personal experience, but a lot of other trusted people that I know that own these specific hardware solutions that have had these issues. If you are someone that's representing any of these companies, I would love to be able to give a fair and balanced review of any other solution that exists for full body motion capture in VR. They give you a lot of drift, and basically they give you a lot of immersion breaking situations where you have to constantly recalibrate. So if you're sitting back or you're relaxing, or if you're engaged in an activity or a game, sometimes you'll have to stop in the middle of that just to T-pose and recalibrate every time, just to make sure your body is looking how it should. What if I told you it didn't have to be that way? I am a very avid VRChat user, so what's the downside? The downside is this motion capture suit is not really meant to be used for VR. So here I have MBN XSENS open, and I actually just hit the calibrate button, and essentially for the calibration, all you gotta do is just like stand in N pose or I pose, what you see in the OSE VRC application that I made on this side. And what it's actually just prompting me to do is just to stand still, walk around, and then stand still again. And that's pretty much it. So what you're actually seeing completely on the screen is the MBN application that's used with the XSENS suit. You're seeing the custom application I made just to send the tracking data to VRChat. And then behind, you're seeing just the VR facial tracking app, just so I can have face tracking in VR. And then you see that the only VR things that I have hooked up is just my headset and my controllers. So what's really nice too is that it also pairs really well with the Vive Trackers natively. So you can see right now it's just configuring just to match everything up super nice. So everything is great when you're doing your body tracking. Basically here, I'm just gonna speed things up just so that you don't have to watch me open and launch VRChat. So when you load into VRChat, it should just be like as if you're using normal Vive trackers. So in order to activate full body tracking, you just actually have to hit the calibrate button, and then you should be able to see all of your additional tracking points like you are seeing right here. I'm just going to tell VRChat to center the trackers just to make sure that everything is great. And from here on, I basically never need to recalibrate. You can see that the body tracking is really great, even with my super scuffed model in VRChat. I'll switch into a different model that's a completely different proportion and size. And you can see that the body tracking on this is also really, really great. The reason why it looks kind of really weird in my OSC Center application with the model just kind of like looking tilt side to side, I locked the camera to actually just view the hips just so that it would stay centered. And here you can see the cam model that I was showing in the beginning of the video. And you can see how really great and fluid the tracking is as well. This works if you're under a blanket. You don't have to worry about your lower body being occluded. It works super, super great. I hope you've enjoyed this video and a peek into the future of VR, or at least what I think is the future of VR. And I would also like to thank all my patrons on Patreon. You'll see them on the screen. And then also, I stream on Twitch, link down below. And on Twitch, we like to have a lot of great conversations. Bye! Thanks, chat.